Welcome back to ESPN First Take, presented by DirecTV.
Jarvis Green has been known to step up big when he's been needed. Green filled in for Richard Seymour in the 2003 AFC Championship game and came away with a career-high 2.5 sacks on their way to a 24-14 win over the Colts. 1 week ago, again against the Colts, Green sealed the victory with a forced fumble as the Patriots kept their dream of an undefeated season alive with a 24-20 victory. This May, when his close friend Marquise Hill drowned in a jet skiing accident, Green stepped up big again. Green invited Hill's fiancee, Anel Ben, and 2-year-old son, Mishi, to live with them, and he's taken upon himself to help raise Mishi. We now welcome in Patriots defensive lineman Jarvis Green to ESPN First Take. Jarvis, thank you so much for joining us. When you take the field on Sundays, what are you doing to remember Marquise? How do you remember him?
Well, the first thing, good morning, guys, first of all. And for the first thing for is my remembrance for Marquise, I wear his shoulder pads for every game. I started doing that probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And because I can remember when he was here, he always was pushing me to wear his pads because he got the purple and gold pads with the purple and gold lining, the one that he had in college. And I put those on, and also before I go out on the field in the tunnel, I make sure to rub his number on the back of our helmets just to have remembrance of him and knowing that he is there watching us.
Jarvis, when you slip those shoulder pads on, what are you feeling?
Well, the same way he put his pads on every game, I mean, from the time I've been remembering him, boys, we all have that feeling when those pads are going over our head. Just, I guess, the state of mind, everything changes, And for me, to do that for Marquise in honor of him is just something that I feel a connection between him and myself.
I mentioned that you're now helping with Hill's young son,
yes,
left behind. How are you involved in his life?
Well, I have his name is Mashai, and that's his correct name. And
I'm sorry. Thank
it's
you.
Okay. It's okay. And I have a private trust fund for him, for his mom's Anel Ben, that she has a private trust fund for Mashai, and just to get him going and helps. But for the foundation, the stuff that I do for us raising the money, some of the proceeds goes to his private trust fund, and also just being there as a father figure because I know we have plans in the off season to go home and christen him because we're going to be the godparents of Mashai.
I read somewhere where Mashai looks differently at black Escalades. Can you tell us that story?
Yes, that was his dad's truck, and I mean, for him, growing up, that's the first thing he saw as far as a vehicle. I think he fell in love with that. So when he sees that truck, the truck that his dad had, I mean, every time he sees a truck, he brings up like, is that dad? Is that is that Marquise? And I know it's tough, man. He's a 2-year-old kid, and he knows that already. And the instincts as far as when you see a truck, that's the first thing that comes out of his mouth.
Well, Jarvis, your involvement in the youngster's life is an outstanding thing, and I'm sure all those involved in that young man's life thank you for your involvement on that. On to football now, Jarvis, and I know that you guys are asked this all the time, and I know that the team's goal is winning the Super Bowl,
right,
but at 9-0,
yes,
are you at least whispering to teammates 16-0 could happen?
To be honest, in our locker room, we take it 1 week at a time. That's something we don't talk about. I mean, we know it's there. We're all human. We see what's going on right now. We're 9-0, but we know 9-0 right now can't get us anything. We could go 9-7 and probably not make the playoffs. So we know we got to take it 1 week at a time. It's a lot of hard work that we got to go through and endure for the rest of this season. So we know it's still a long season in front of us.
Yeah. So you haven't heard any teammates
no,
even whisper the phrase 16-0.
No. I'm being honest. Haven't heard it yet.
Hey, we definitely believe you. All right. Back in week 3, you dominated the Bills 38-7.
Yes.
They're a different team now. I think everybody would agree on that. What most concerns you about playing the Bills this time around?
They got to be the hottest team right now. I mean, they're 5-4, but they won the last 4 games. For a team to win 4 straight games in this league is pretty hard, and I know it's tough, so they're doing something right. And also, us going down there Sunday night, it's a night game in Buffalo. That's going to be a crazy crowd. It's going to be loud. There's going to be a lot of emotions for them. And we have to be ready because we could go down there and not be prepared, and they will beat us. We know that.
Let's talk a little college football. There you go. LSU is back in the national championship picture after Ohio State stumbling over the weekend. When you look at LSU and their path to a potential BCS championship, what's the biggest stumbling block in their way?
Whoever's behind them, pretty much. I mean, everybody's behind them right now, pretty much like a bunch of crabs in a bucket. Somebody trying to grab them. And hey, it's the SEC. They have Arkansas. They have Ole Miss. That's the two teams in front of them right now. Then we have the SEC championship. So they have a lot of games in front of them, and they still have a lot of football to play.
Tell us about the Jarvis Green Foundation, if you will.
Well, I did my first wine taste in September the 21st. Jarvis Green Foundation is a foundation that helps single moms from the Katrina, the victims. And you hear about the big stories about the families and that's having these problems, but you don't hear about the little stories about in the small towns and small areas that people still having problems to this day. It's been 2 years, and when I go home, it seems like it gets worse and worse back home as far as the conditions, and people still needing help from, because the government, I mean, as far as what's going on there, that's that situation. But I know as far as what I can do a lot in my community and also help the nearby communities, and we just trying to raise money. I mean, we had a wine tasting September 21st. It was a pretty good thing that happened, but it was a great outcome for the first time. We had over 400 people that came, and we're trying to do something else in Baton Rouge in July, and pretty much just trying to raise much money as we can for us to help those people in need.
All right, Jarvis, very well said. Is Tom Brady have an issue? I know Tom Brady was wearing a Yankees hat earlier. You're wearing the Red Sox hat. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we okay. We okay. I mean, everybody got their choice of preference. But hey, right now, hey, we in the hometown, city of champions, man, rooting these guys on.
All right. Jarvis, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck against the Bills and the rest of the season.
Thank you very much, guys. Y'all have a great day.
You bet. Yeah, he mentioned the game Sunday night. The Patriots will be in Buffalo to take on the Bills in a rematch of their Week 3 game.